You thought I was your hero? I'm not. I always play dirty and I never fight fair. The only side I'm on is my own.
Wednesday Season 2 is packed with hidden details, callbacks, and blink and you'll miss them moments that connect to the Addams family legacy in ways most fans never noticed. But here's the thing, some of these Easter eggs are so sneaky, you could have watched the entire season twice and still miss them. So in this video, we'll be breaking down 10 of the most surprising details in both Part 1 and Part 2 you probably overlooked. Fair warning, there will be spoilers for Season 2, but if you're ready, stick around until the very end so you don't miss any details.
Can I get your autograph? I only signed my name in blood. I would expect nothing less. I never said it was my own blood.
Number 10, New Jersey. When the Addams family mansion in Wednesday is first introduced, we see it located in New Jersey, and that's not random. The creator of the Addams family, Charles Addams, actually grew up in Westfield, New Jersey. As a kid, he passed by a Victorian mansion there, one of the big inspirations for his cartoons. So for later adaptations, New Jersey made sense as a nod to Addams' roots, and even their car when arriving at Nevermore Academy bears a New Jersey state plate reminding us of those origins.
This is the first time you've ever willingly returned to a school. How does it feel?
Like returning to the scene of the crime.
But there's more. In the design of Wednesday's room, there are very deliberate callbacks to her original room in the Charles Addams comics.
I feel like I've barely seen you.
Writers should always refill their creative cups before they begin again.
For instance, in this frame, you can spot a similar wallpaper behind Morticia of an alligator chasing a human. Also, the decorative octopus motif on Wednesday's bed.
Bedroom this season, which is sort of straight out of the Chaz Addams cartoons, and it's very sparse and very minimal. It has like a chair and a desk. That's the essence of what we try to get to with the show.
Number 9, Shakespeare Nods. Season 2 is filled with Shakespeare references, so many that the houses and halls of Nevermore feel like a mini Shakespeare festival. If you catch them all, they reveal layers about identity, rivalry, even character foreshadowing. First up, Ophelia Hall. This is where Wednesday and Enid stay. Ophelia from Hamlet is tragic, driven to madness by family conflict and betrayal. That hall name sets a tone about fragile beauty under pressure, and maybe a warning for what can happen when things unbalance emotionally.
Wednesday always looks half dead.
Welcome to Ophelia Hall. Not a hugger. Got it.
Then there's Caliban Hall, named after Caliban from The Tempest. Caliban, who represents both creature and native spirits, misused power, freedom, and confinement. Thisbe Hall and Puck Hall are straight out of A Midsummer Night's Dream. Thisbe is part of the play within a play subplot, lovers, miscommunication, and idealized imagery. Puck is mischief, trickery, and chaos. And then there's Iago Tower. That name calls to Othello's Iago, one of Shakespeare's most notorious villains. Iago is all about deception, hidden agendas, and betrayal. Having Iago Tower there seems to suggest that power structures at Nevermore have built-in traitors, or that not everything is what it appears. But there's one more small touch. On the fireplace in Caliban, there's a sign that reads, "Be not afeared." That phrase is from The Tempest, spoken by Ariel to comfort others.
Be not afeared. The isle is full of noises.
Number 8, the birds. In this season, crows become more than just creepy background set dressing. They're directly tied to the Willow Hill investigation subplot, attacking anyone who gets too close. But here's the disturbing part. When they strike, they go for the eyes. You can see this first in episode 1, when the private investigator working with Sheriff Galpin is attacked on the bus, and later when Galpin himself is targeted. The way their eyes are violently plucked out mirrors the shocking attacks from Hitchcock's The Birds, where flocks of birds turned against humans in gruesome fashion. And the Hitchcock influence doesn't stop there. The show's costume designer Colleen Atwood revealed that she pulled inspiration from a vintage The Birds poster when designing Principal Weems' wardrobe. That's why some of her outfits carry that retro mid-20th century elegance, but with a slightly unsettling edge.
Rise and shine, sleepyhead.
Principal Weems?
Ready for your sponge bath?
What in the hell is this?
Number 7, Edgar Allan Poe.
To bring other things into it, like his love of golf and his sort of slightly more Poe-centric, I would say. You know, Edgar Allan Poe was theoretically the founder of Nevermore, and he's very much into restoring Nevermore back to what it was in days gone by. So he's now has a portrait of Poe that he refers to. I think
slightly copies its hairstyle on Poe.
We can't ignore the shadow of Edgar Allan Poe over season 2. In fact, Jenna Ortega herself confirmed that the season's tone was directly inspired by Poe's short story, The Mask of the Red Death. That influence is everywhere: dark masquerades, looming inevitability, and an atmosphere of doom hanging over Nevermore. The nods don't stop at the story level. In the Nevermore quad, there's a food truck called the Telltale Cafe, a clever reference to Poe's The Telltale Heart. Even the menu items play along. You can order things like a Murders in the Rue Macchiato. It's a small detail, but one that shows how deeply Poe's legacy is woven into the fabric of Nevermore. And then there's Nevermore's new principal, Barry Dort, played by Steve Buscemi. His entire look and presence are modeled after Poe himself. From the mustache and hairstyle to his brooding manner, it's no coincidence that Dort even gestures toward a portrait of Poe in his office, openly admiring him. Behind the scenes, Tim Burton gave Buscemi one of his own Poe action figures as inspiration for the role.
Allow me to introduce myself, Barry Dort, your new principal.
Number 6, the Addams Family Credo. This motto first appeared in Charles Addams' original cartoons and has been passed down through later adaptations. It goes, Sic gorgiamus allos subjectados nunc, mock Latin for we gladly feast on those who would subdue us.
And our credo, Sic gorgiamus allos subjectatos nunc. We gladly feast on those who would subdue us.
In episode 1, during the Founders' Pyre ceremony, Principal Dort tries to honor Nevermore's saviors. But when Wednesday is asked to speak, she refuses to celebrate their conformity. Instead, she quotes the family credo, turning the moment into a declaration of rebellion against hypocrisy and control.
Tonight, is our banquet of discontent, and we shall gladly feast on those who would subdue us.
Number 5, Barbara Jean Day. In episode 6, when Wednesday and Enid switch bodies, Wednesday, disguised as Enid, snoops around Morticia's cottage and discovers books written under the pen name Barbara Jean Day. Barbara Jean Day was actually Charles Addams' first wife. Over the years, some people speculated that she inspired the look of Morticia Addams, though that's debated and likely more myth than fact. Still, her name has become tangled up in the lore surrounding the origins of the Addams family character.
How long have you been writing, Barbara Jane?
Says I was your age.
Number 4, camping trip. In episode 3, Nevermore heads out on a camping trip, a clear nod to Addams family values, where Wednesday and Pugsley were sent to Camp Chippewa. A group of Boy Scouts even show up to interrupt their activities, and their uniforms look almost identical to the ones worn by the Chippewa counselors.
I'm Gary Granger. And I'm Becky Martin Granger. We're the honors and directors here at Camp Chippewa.
Later, during the campfire scene, Morticia is seated in her signature peacock chair, the same iconic prop we've seen in multiple adaptations. And when Wednesday and Morticia face off in a blind duel, the fight choreography feels like a sly tribute to Catherine Zeta-Jones's sword fights in The Mask of Zorro.
Not bad.
Number 3, Rotwood Cottage. We get a brand new character in season 2 named Rosalind Rotwood, played by none other than Lady Gaga. And Principal Dort actually gives the Addams family Rotwood's old cottage to stay in, since Morticia is in the gala committee. But when Dort flips on the lights, the entire room glows pink and colorful.
Who decorated this place?
A homicidal maniac.
No, you shouldn't cast aspersions, dear. Not all homicidal maniacs have such ghastly taste.
Well, production designer Mark Scruton confirmed this was intentional. See, the original 1960s Addams Family set was actually painted pink, but because the show was filmed in black and white, audiences never saw it. This was their way of paying homage, and if you look closely at the cottage, you'll spot props pulled directly from that classic set, like Morticia's iconic fan back chair, and even the bear that once stood in their living room back in the 60s.
The environment would be complete without having the taxidermy bear, but we didn't really want to have a real one. It didn't feel right to have a poor stuffed bear on our set.
Number 2, Aunt Ophelia. In Wednesday, Ophelia Frump, Morticia's sister, is presented as a raven with psychic abilities just like Wednesday and Hester, but her powers weren't always stable. Early in the season, we learned that using her gift pushed her into madness. She was committed to Willow Hill for psychiatric treatment, then vanished under mysterious circumstances, presumed missing for 20 years.
Figure it out for yourself. Thrive or die, says the woman whose youngest daughter has been missing for 20 years.
In the finale of season 2, Morticia hands Wednesday Ophelia's journal, which unlocks a vision. A blonde figure wearing a flower crown hidden away in a basement under Grandmama Hester's house. We don't yet know who plays her in that scene, but rumors are flying. Some fans believe Lady Gaga might be Aunt Ophelia or hiding behind another identity. Others think it could be someone else secretly introduced. But before we continue, what do you think? Drop a comment below. Who do you believe is playing Aunt Ophelia? What motives might she have in season 3? Will she truly be an antagonist, or is there something deeper going on? Ophelia's look matches her classic portrayal too. She's blonde with a flower crown, visually presented as Morticia's opposite, evoking her established character in past Addams family lore. Number 1, Professor Orloff. In season 2, we get a new character named Professor Orloff, a biology teacher at Nevermore Academy whose head lives in a jar. Somehow, by Isaac Knight's designs, his life is sustained via a device. So though the rest of him isn't present, his consciousness, his face, and his voice persist. Longtime Addams Family fans would notice that he's played by Christopher Lloyd, who famously portrayed Uncle Fester in the early 90s Addams Family film.
Love me.
With all my soul.
Would you do anything for me?
Anything.
Would you die for me?
Yes.
What's really cool is the execution. Orloff is a severed head in a jar. The effect was pulled off using volumetric capture and advanced VFX, so Lloyd's expressions really come through, even when he's physically isolated in this grotesque vessel.
Miss Addams, who are you talking